Hello everyone, and you're watching Bitcoin Bubble News channel. I think we will see an Omega candle, which is a daily candle of $100,000. This would mean that Bitcoin would go up to $165,000 tomorrow. That's all from Samson Mow. You should watch this all the way through because we'll have more from it before the video comes out. Now, what's going on with Crypto Crew? Sean is angry with you again. Visit bitcoinbros101.com to learn more about us. Before we start, we have lessons for you. There are ebooks and crash classes here. If you want to be a part of the Bitcoin Bros group, join our premium Patreon pass. Right away, if we look at the Bitcoin price chart right now, we can see that Bitcoin is worth $63,000. What does this chart show us and what do we expect it to show us? Check this out. We see a pattern that you can't ignore. What have we seen in the last few cycles? 1, 2, and 3 candles are going up. Then there is one red candle going down. Then we see rinse and repeat. 1, 2, and 3 to the right, and then a bear sign to the left. 1, 2, and 3 to the right, and a bear sign to the left. We are now on the second light. This is the chart for the past 12 months. That's why next year, if the trend stays the same, that last green candle should turn into a red candle before 2026. See, this second light always rises higher than the red one. In 2018, the red light ended right here around 13.4. This year ended above. Then take a look at where we are now. We are now above the red light, which means we know we will close above $45,000 by the end of the year. The year is almost over, there are only 3 quarters left. But the bigger question is, how much respect do we get on average from the second to the third year? We won't look at 2012 and 2013 because those years might be too far out of the range. Instead, let's use this one. Let's say we went up about 1,400% year over year, and then we went down 61% the next year. As far as I know, this is a big cut. If we go up 61% from where we are now in the third year, the price of Bitcoin will reach about $102,000, so 6 figures are still possible. You should keep an eye on Bitcoin dominance. When will the real start of alt season be? The light blue lines show when Bitcoin will be halved. There will be one in 2016, 2020, and 2024. But there are boxes in the middle. There are red and green spots here. It seems like every October is the exact month when we start to fall off this cliff and Bitcoin's power starts to drop. This has happened twice in the last 2 rounds. So from October 2016 to October 2017, a year later, we've seen either a huge rise in the alt market or a fall in Bitcoin's popularity. Then it's smart to hold on to Bitcoin for 1096 days, then switch back to altcoins for the rest of the year, starting in October of the year of halving. After waiting 365 days selling Bitcoin while hanging on to it, we're still in the 1096-day window. When does this end? This really ends on October 1st, so it's October of this year. Could you branch out and focus on alts? Is this a good thought? Based on the charts, it looks like the rate was cut just now. Let's wait for this rollover right now. It looks like there will be an all season. This chart could hold from October 24th to October 25th. But don't wait too long. Next month might be the right time to fully mix. Big news, BNY Mellon has been named as the first bank to get a relief from SAB 121 from the SEC. What does this mean? BNY Mellon Bank was named as the bank that got out of the SEC's honor rules for custody and digital assets on Monday at a public meeting in Wyoming. By getting permission from the SEC, this is the first big bank that has been given permission to store digital assets. Why is this important? Because this is only the first piece of the puzzle. Finally, all the big banks will be able to hold Bitcoin coins. This includes Chase, Bank of America, Citibank, Wells Fargo, and more. What does that mean? Over time, you could let them hold your cryptocurrency and use it as collateral for a loan. Are they going to give you something? There are a lot of different cars that could come from it. Of course, not your keys or your crypto, but banks may be the middleman if you want to use crypto in the real world. Also pay attention to this chart. Thanks to Rick Capital. He has this chart right now, showing the cuts in half for 2016, 2020, and 2024, and around the half there are always these pullbacks and retracements. Once that was over, there was a rise to the top, and we're still waiting for that rise to happen in 2025. Just so you know, this is the peak 518 days after the halves. 528,000 days, even though this was a double peak that showed the decline double peak. Let's do the math to see where 548 days gets us. It will be October 2025, 548 days from now. This is the same time as the Bitcoin power chart we showed you already. October 2025 is 365 days after the 1096 Bitcoin power rise. Take a look at the convergence. We're going to hear from Samson Mow right away to find out what he thinks might be happening with Bitcoin in the market. I want to hear from Samson. Let me explain. My theory is that we will see an Omega candle, which is a $100,000 candle every day. That means Bitcoin will reach $160,000 tomorrow. And I can see that happening because of all the big picture economic issues. I believe that was the one we missed as debt. But debt is, I think that was the one. The US owes $3 billion every day. It used to be a rise of $1 billion every day. And next year's interest payments on a $36.7 trillion debt are likely to be more than $1 trillion. All of this, though, can't last. At the same time, Bitcoin's fundamentals are strong, and companies like MicroStrategy, Tether, and others are buying Bitcoin in large amounts. You have ETFs that are still adding up. It has been flat for a few days, but they are always adding up on the net. Then there's the heavy debt that needs to be paid off. You have to change the value of your dollars to satoshis or go bankrupt. There isn't any other way. That loan can't be paid. You can't get out of that debt. So it looks like the system keeps working even though Bitcoin should be going into full bull market FOMO mode right now. I want to talk about that point of fear during a full bull market. I know you got a lot of attention earlier this year when you said Bitcoin could hit $1 million this year or 2025 not. Are you still sure about that? I believe it. The market isn't right. At any rate, Bitcoin is way too cheap right now, 5600 to 7,000 Bitcoins per coin. Going over what I already said, there is just not much Bitcoin out there. At this point, you can't double your stocks as a big group. It's going to go up. There are other ways to ease the pressure. I think Bitcoin is like a beach ball that we're kicking around underwater right now, and people are getting bored. Some people may be shorting Bitcoin on purpose or just for fun, which drives down the price. However, this can't last because so many people want to buy Bitcoin. Tether is going to buy Bitcoin every 3 months. It will happen more and more often that MicroStrategy and similar buy things every couple of months. Korea has one of the biggest pension funds in the world, and it is now putting money into microcaps. It's clear that things are changing, but the market needs time to figure out what's going on, just like during the big sell.